Friends, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Alright, not only do we have 3 case knives sitting on the table needing unboxing, but we have a new knife giveaway where you can win this icon knife that JohnKlahr gave us. And maybe you got a couple beater knives like these two here, or maybe even a fixed blade like this buck. I don't know, some old knife that's wore out that we consider a beater knife. What you're going to do is want to take a picture of that and send it in for your chance to win a little knife package we've got. Alright, so let's get a couple of these out of the way and break it down to one box here. And before we unbox it, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it to one of your friends who might like similar knife content. Sharing is what really helps the channel. Alright, so let's see what we got here. This is the number 31949 dark red bone peach seed jig small Congress 6266 carbon steel, and it was born on November 6th of 2023. Alright, let's open this thing up, get it out of here, and see what we got. Check the card here. Well, small Congress, that's what we have. Yeah, kind of the same thing, but I don't know. That looks kind of cool there. We'll check that out. Alright, right now let's get back to this knife. And get the paper off of it and see what it looks like. We're fixing to get all up close and personal with this knife. As soon as we get this paper out of the way. Get it back in the box. Always save the boxes on these things. Put them away somewhere. You won't regret it. Alright. So the small Congress, and the reason I got is Lincoln's knife, is Lincoln actually had this knife, which is a small Congress, in his pocket when he was shot by Booth. Alright, so Lincoln carried a small Congress, and now I'm going to carry a small Congress. Alright, pretty cool. Now this one's not ivory, this is a red bone, but I think it looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of a line right there. Not a gap, just a little raise. We can polish that off on the jewelry polisher. Shield looks pretty sweet right there. Look how small it is. I think it looks cool. I like the bones are nice and even side to side. Got that nice little bit of whiteness to them. And got that nice sheath foot. That little pin. Look at those big old nail nicks. That looks good. That is a good looking little knife. Tank stamp here. Pretty clear. Case XX on this one. And USA 6268. Carbon steel on the pin. Our cutting edges are 1 9/16" on the sheep's foot and 1 1/16" on the little pin. That's the cutting edge. Alright. And like I said, it's got these nice big nail nicks in there, if I can get a hold of them. And the walk and talk is very nice. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but it is a crisp but not overly stiff. And there's that big nail nick on there. And that little one there is just as nice. The walk and talk on that. I always like to check the back springs with the blades open as well, because sometimes when you open them they will be protruding out a little bit, but this one's not. It's just right. So yeah, man, I think this is a good looking knife. Let's see if we can get some blade centering in here on the camera. It's kind of a small knife, but ooh, yep, a little slippery in the hand. But blades don't appear to be rubbing against each other. Nice quality job. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a nice clearance everywhere. It does appear to be a little dry on these scales. You see that? And they're a little bit chalky looking. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can bling them up here a little bit with a little bit of my One Angry Kid knife oil. Let's put a little bit on there. Let's see if that pops them up a little bit. Yeah, don't look as dry. Here's how it did look. Let's go ahead and put a little bit on this side too. Doesn't take too much. I just usually slob it on because I got an endless supply of it. But if you use it like you should, this little bottle like this will last you a long time, and it does give it good protection. Now remember, this is a carbon steel knife, so don't do like I did in that video where I had to go back and clean up a carbon steel knife because I let it rust because I cleaned it with Dawn. Alright, you got to keep these carbon steel knives coated with oil, you know, regardless of if you use my One Angry Kid knife oil or somebody else's oil, you know, or even some cooked vegetable oil or something like that. You know, make sure you coat it down good, especially when you first get it. Make sure you get the blades, the back spring, and what I like to do is just make sure I get a good coating on everything, and then close the blades a little bit, getting the pivot points, and close them like that. And just make sure you get lubrication all up in those pivot points and all over the entire blade. Especially you're going to use it around food prep, stuff like that, where you might end up cleaning it with some kind of detergent and clean off all the soap. If you do, you end up having to come back with the case eraser and the case paste to clean the rust and tarnish off your blade. And I showed how to use those products in this video right here. So check the playlist for that video, and also you can check out my One Angry Kid knife oil at oneangrykid.com. Alright, so one other thing I like to do before we get to the cut test is go ahead and compare the knife to similar knives of size. Maybe a little different pattern, but around the same size is the Case Peanut. I think that is probably the closest knife that we're going to have to this small Congress. They both have two blades, but the Peanut has a clip and the Congress has that sheep's foot. Okay, so this is going to be a little hard to do. They're small knives, not much I can get a hold of them, so let's just go ahead and lay them out here on the table. I'll just rearrange them here and adjust the camera where we can see them a little bit better. Alright, 1 second. There we go. There they are. Alright, so as you can see, they're very close in overall length. Let's line them up right here. Alright, but that clip point's a little longer, but that Congress has got a little longer handle. So the difference kind of evens them out against each other. See that? Either one is a super handy knife that you can carry in your pocket and barely feel. Now here is the pen knife. You can see that is about a 3/4 of an inch longer. Here, let's move that. We'll move it this way. Okay. But you see there, you got 3/4 of an inch longer overall. And that pin. And this is the small center jack swell. And it has got some pretty scales on it, I do say. But see how thick they are? So this knife is a lot thicker than the rest of those because it's got deep jig on it. In order to do the deep jig, they got to put a lot thicker scales. Alright, you can see that that knife is about equal to the pen knife, maybe 1/8 of an inch shorter than the pen, but it's larger than both the Peanut and the Congress. Now let's go ahead and put the Sodbuster Junior synthetic up here. That's a carbon steel blade as well. So there is a good shot of pretty much all the Case small knives, or at least the ones in my collection. If there's more out there, let me know and I'll add them to the collection, but that's a pretty good shot of the lineup there. Well, It's about that time to get ready for the cut test. And it feels sharp. I don't feel a burr on it or anything. So let's get our little piece of paper and see how it does. Case hasn't been doing too good lately with them being sharp out of the box. I mean, the quality of the steel's there, the quality of the knife's there. It's just whoever's sharpening these knives is just not doing a good job, or they're not finishing them properly, taking the time to finish them. Yeah, I don't really see anything off of it. I can't feel anything off of it. So I'm hoping putting it on a leather strop is going to take care of that. So let's give that blade another chance. We'll give it a good 10 or so swipes here on the strop, on the compound side. And I tell you, that's one thing that's nice about the sheep's foot. It is a blade that is so easy to strop. You know, those Skinner style blades, you got to work your wrist just right to get that edge, you know, through the belly of the knife. But these, straight. You just try not to drag it in the same spot on the strop all the time so you don't make some kind of groove or cut. Here I'm just cleaning off any compound before I go to the clean side. And I always like to leave one side of my strop clean and just run the compound on one side, and then I come over here. Eventually a little bit of that compound will work its way over to this side, and that's when I know my strop is worn in just right. This one's still a little ways off from being worn in just like I like it, but this is one of my Beavercraft strops. If you go to oneangrykid.com, this is the Mac Daddy strop I have on there on sale, so check that out. oneangrykid.com. You can get a strop like that for yourself. Same price as Amazon, sometimes cheaper. So it got a little bit better. It still has issues. Alright, strop is not a magic tool. It's just gonna refine the edge, but you gotta have a good edge on it first. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about some of the other things we need to talk about in this video. So if you want to win the beater knife photo contest and win this Recon knife, some knife oil, leather strop, and some stickers and coins and some other stuff we're going to put together, a nice little package, well, you need to send in a picture of your beater knife. Alright, any old knife you have that maybe been sharpened for a long time, the edge is worn down, tips bent off, scratches all over it. So what you want to do is email one photo to klahrbar@icloud.com. You must be subscribed to the channel, one entry per person, and at the end of the month I'm going to take all those photos and turn them into a video. Alright, and then let the subscribers vote on that video in the comment section who the winner is. Now, before I did it, I did different videos for each knife. This time it's going to be one video with all the knives in one place. So you're not going to see a video until the end of the month, and then all the emails are going to go into one video. Alright? And we'll give everybody like a time frame to vote on it. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video real quick was over the next week or two, I'm going to be pretty busy because this is something I purchased today. I am going to downsize and put this down by the river, and that is where I will be living for a little while, and this will be the new headquarters for JohnKlahr's YouTube channel. It's going to be a lot quieter and peaceful and allow me to work on my videos without a lot of interruption. So something to look forward to, but next week or so you might not hear a lot from me. Alright? So, thanks to everybody who sticks around, and thanks for viewing the video, and have a good night.